Hello, lovely people. I am Nicole. Welcome to my channel. Approximately a month ago, I saw my primary care physician, aka PCP, which is what I'll be saying from now on. My PCP recommended that I have a bariatric surgery, considering the gastric sleeve surgery. I've been on a weight loss journey for 27 plus years. For as long as I can remember, at least since I was 18, I've been on some kind of diet. You name it, I've done it. The HCG diet, I've been on Weight Watchers, I've taken phentermine, I've been vegan, I've been vegetarian, I've been pescatarian, I've done paleo, you name it, I've done it. And my weight never seems to move. I am this excellent motivator. I get all of these other people on board with me to, by the way, I'm sitting in a parking lot, so if you see cars passing behind me, that pay no mind to that. I'm sitting in my car because I thought it was best to do this right now. I've done it. I've done it all. I've done everything that you can think of diet-wise, and I'm in the gym, and I'm kind of that gym rat. I'm the person who rallies everyone else together to say, hey, let's do this diet, and let's go work out, and make sure that, you know, we're all doing this, and everybody else deflates like a balloon, and Nicole either stays the same or gains weight. A lot of people say, oh, you're gaining muscle mass, but I'm sorry, it just doesn't fly with me. After a while, at some point, I need to see that disappear. So, and that just hasn't been happening. So my doctor has been on this journey with me. My PCP has been on this journey with me for a good 10 years now. And he's just like, Nicole, I think it's time that you consider bariatric surgery, the gastric sleeve in particular. So I decided to do some research on it, and I checked into my insurance to see what that was about. It kind of threw me for a loop when he said that, because I was like, I never thought I was heavy enough to even consider that. But I learned something today. I'll share some additional information with you in a little bit here, which is the reason for this post to begin with, or this vlog to begin with. So I started to do some research. I came on YouTube. I wanted to hear about see other people's journeys, and I've seen it, but I saw it a little like it was chopped. It was chopped up a bit, and it wasn't all put together in a nice, neat little package like I wanted. So that's the reason for me starting this YouTube, so that I can start from the very beginning, and that you have a point of reference, I have a point of reference, and we can start from vlog 1 and go to vlog whatever. You're going to see if I get accepted for surgery by my insurance, if I'm not accepted for surgery by my insurance. I'll do some vlogging at some point about diets and just this process, because it is extensive and it's a lot. It's a big deal. I've already been a big deal, and my diet has been a big deal, and I have exercise, and I made everything else a big deal. So this is very much so a big deal as well. So I'm going to treat it as such. I searched around through my insurance, and I found a doctor, and I completed a consultation this afternoon. That's why I am sitting in a parking lot in my car. I have just left that consultation to discuss bariatric surgery and my options. And I learned a little bit today. I learned some more today, I should say. I've been researching like crazy over the past 4 weeks, so a lot of things that were said to me were familiar. But she mentioned today that African American women and their blood pressures are a really, really major issue, and that has been part of the defining factor for me. My current weight is 209, 209.5, and I'm 5'2". So I have, a bit on the heavy side, but it's, not, it's a bit on the heavy side, but okay, that's that. It's 209.5 is what I weighed in on today, on the scale. So she said it's not so much the weight itself for African American women, but the effect that it has on our health, how every single pound makes a difference to our health. And she was like, especially blood pressures, that's the number one thing. And she's like, genetics is just horrible. So we tend to see, well, not genetics are horrible, but how genetics has a way of increasing your blood pressure quite often, and it gets a little higher than, say, the typical Caucasian person. So she said she would see us earlier, tends to start to see us a little bit earlier, more for health issues, and it being health related, than just coming in saying, hey, I want to have bariatric surgery because I'm overweight. So it was comforting to hear that, because right now I currently take 3 blood pressure medicines, take them faithfully. I exercise, and I've been exercising now consistently, of course, for about 5 days a week, but I've been active, though I'm not just a slug. My job is sedentary, but I'm just, I'm always doing something. I'm always doing housework, always squashing something, fixing something, doing something, always doing something. But the weight just never goes anywhere, and I have been so frustrated with it, and at wit's end. Currently on a low-fat diet. I'm tracking in the app. I'm using LifeSum. I'm on Weight Watchers. Then I have for iFit for my workout session. I bought a treadmill, and it's just my weight machine is on the way. Just a lot. It's a lot. I have always taken this very, very seriously. Taken my health very seriously, and taken diet and exercise seriously. But like anybody else, I get tired. You do it for so long, you see no results, and it's like, well, what's the point? I may as well just do bad. Eat what I want, have what I want, be who I want, do whatever, because I'm still going to be the same size. It don't make no difference whether I do it or not. Whether I consciously do that or not. So it's been a struggle. And so today was kind of hard for me, because again, I've been actively dieting, or actively following a food plan and watching everything closely. I weighed in with my primary care doctor at 205.4 a few weeks ago, and I've been dieting since then and following a specific diet, and I've been exercising and walking 5 days a week, and today I weigh in at 209.5. Yeah. Usually I would be extremely deflated, but today I felt like there was a point in having a little bit of a way out, or seeing a light somewhat at the end of the tunnel, that at some point this is going to pay off for me. So during my consultation today, again, I said I learned a lot, and how blood pressure can really affect that, and how weight can affect blood pressure, and how she tends to see African American women earlier, because there's just so much, because our blood pressures impact us so much, our weight impacts our blood pressure so much, and how it's so important for us to take care of ourselves. And she's like, and heart attacks heart attacks don't appear the same way in African American women as they do in other races or ethnicities. And she's like, you may have a toothache, or you may have some ringing in the ear, and you're actively having a heart attack, while the next person, that's not the case. And she's like, and you typically don't know that, so it's important for us to get an early good jump on it. She talked to me about my options today, a gastric bypass or a gastric sleeve. She said lap band is something that they don't do anymore. They're steering away from that. So I've always been a fan of, you can always take it out, but you can't put nothing in there. So She laughed, of course, at me when I said that, but that's exactly how I feel. And so she was like, well, I think you'll be a good candidate to consider these two things. And I told her I was really leaning toward the gastric sleeve at this point. The gastric sleeve is where they remove a portion of your stomach, and it's the technical term is vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and it's also known as gastric sleeve or the sleeve. So you may hear me use the slang terms over the course of this journey. But just so you know, have an idea of where that comes from. But it's where you remove a portion of your stomach and it leaves just a tube, a little sleeve like section of your stomach for you to eat, and you can take in maybe 2 to 4 ounces of food at a time, and it forces, of course, your body to lose weight. So you got to learn to work with that. So we talked a little bit about diet. Currently, the diet that I'm on now, the low-fat diet that I'm working through now, requires 3 meals and 3 snacks a day, and it's a lot of food. The first week I really struggled with it. I really struggled with eating every 2 hours, and it was like, oh my God, it is time to eat again. I'm gonna lose my mind, because I've never done that. I've always been either a once a day eater, twice a day eater. 3 times is really pushing it, and that would be if we were on vacation, and I'm going with the flow and doing what everybody else is doing on vacation, and then we're eating 3 times a day. But for the most part, was a one or 2 time day eater, and now I'm eating 6 times a day. So I literally have to set an alarm on my phone every 2 hours that reminds me to eat something. She told me today that was really good, because that would help prepare me for what would be to come after surgery and what I would have to do post-operatively. But she says she thinks that because of my blood pressure, I would be considered a good candidate, and I really need to consider gastric, consider those 2 options. And she said once we meet again later on down the line, then we can discuss which one in particular we're going to do. She is the surgeon, and she's given me instructions on a few other things that I have to do prior to that. I need to have a psychological evaluation, so she gave me some doctors to have that done. I've got to have an EGD completed, so that she knows what she's dealing with when she goes into the stomach area, if there are any hernias or ulcers or anything that needs to be H. pylori or something that needs to be fixed ahead of time. She wants me to make sure that I have those baseline things done, so that they can determine what needs to be done and what all I need to do. I also asked about sleep, and if it was a requirement for a sleep study. She said it's not a requirement from her, but if I feel like I need to have that done and my PCP feels like that's a requirement, then that may be a request from them, is to have a sleep study done. I don't sleep well, never have, for as long as I can remember. I get 6 hours, maybe tops, of sleep every night, and it's very restless, and I wake up in the morning tired, exhausted, some days worse than others, and headaches, and just, it's not good. So that's where we are on that. But I wanted to make sure that I take the time to touch base with you, and since this was my first appointment, I wanted to make sure that I vlogged this information while it was fresh on my mind. So like I said, I'm literally sitting in my car in the parking lot right after this appointment and vlogging this information for you guys, so that you have it, and again, so that I can even review it, to have something to go back to. So I have those 3 appointments that I now need to make and follow through with. So I'm gonna start calling around and checking on some things. I'm gonna have my EGD done. I need to we have but my particular insurance requires that I have 6 visits with medical weight management program or clinic, and so they gave me some information about that. But they also have something called a bariatric resource program that's offered through my insurance, and I have been asked to by the way, I'm in the United States. I have been asked to contact them and see if it's something that I can get into now or if I need to wait until later. So I plan to do all of that. I got quite a bit of work to do. I'll probably touch base with that tomorrow, but I'm going to start looking for some in-network physicians and things because I've got to have a psychologist, I've got to have an EGD done, and they gave me one other, the dietitian nutrition person that I need to see. So I'm gonna follow up with that, and our journey begins. Well, a new segment of the journey begins for me concerning weight loss. I hope that you will want to follow me on this journey, and if you would like to do that, I'd love for you to become part of my little family and my journey, and by selecting subscribe at the bottom and liking this video and sharing with others if you'd like to do that. I'll see you next time. Bye.